We
Thank
do.
you for that. All right. And I guess there's more bad news for for
Well,
Bezos and company.
it just happens to be this way.
It just we didn't pick it. It's okay. Look, everybody's gonna think we're ganging up on Blue Origin or something, and we're not. It's just that this came out, and Corey's like, "Hey, check this out," and I was like, "No," but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
We were
here.
gonna talk about the FA thing anyway, and
Yeah,
then yeah, as Mike said, I found this just a little bit ago, and I was like, we gotta talk about that.
yeah. So actually, wait. If you guys have any hate for somebody that doesn't like Blue Origin, the guy that keeps finding most of the negative stuff in Blue Origin is Corey.
I don't hate Blue Origin.
I know you don't.
Uh,
I'm just saying, you're the guy. You're the guy that keeps bringing it up. I'm just putting it out there. Direct all the hate mail to him.
wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, okay, I'm kidding. All right, here, take it away. You got the floor.
All right, cool. Yep. So this one I happened to find on CNBC, and it says, I'll just read it and then we'll go into it. It says Bezos offers to cover $2 billion in NASA costs in exchange for astronaut lunar lander contract. So,
Mm,
okay, breaking this down. So basically, if you guys have been following the news or watching our show, you'll know that there was a competition a bit ago, and where SpaceX was selected for the lunar lander project, and Blue Origin was also in there with another company as well, and they lost out to SpaceX.
mm-hmm.
NASA awarded NASA awarded that to SpaceX, and Blue Origin obviously wasn't happy about that, and they ended up putting a protest into it, and you know, but the long and short of it on this article actually says that literally Jeff is just saying
Mm,
they'll just pay the bill up to a limit, but pay the bill up to 2 billion for NASA's cost to get the contract.
right.
Um,
He
to
said
build a
he'll
lunar
waive the
lander. So
payments. Waive all the payments up to
wait,
2
yeah,
billion.
yeah, he's gonna eat the payments.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
effectively eating the payments.
Right.
Yeah. So
So,
yeah.
no, keep going. I'm not going to stop there because there's more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so basically, yeah, back in April, I can expand a little bit on, but back in April, yeah, NASA awarded Elon Musk, of course, to SpaceX. That was 2.89 billion
Mm-hmm.
for the crew, the lunar lander, and they're calling it the Human Landing System. So if you're not familiar, that's kind of what they're talking about.
Right.
And basically, what Bezos is saying, so his is a quote from him as well. It says, instead of a single source approach, NASA should embrace its original strategy of competition.
Right.
Without competition, a short time into the contract, NASA will find itself with limited options as it attempts to negotiate missed deadlines, design changes, and cost overruns.
Okay.
So, and that's
So
an end quote. So,
yeah, now
yeah.
I'm gonna have my little 2 cents here
Yep,
because
yep.
that's a
Come on.
lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot coming from a guy that had to step in. Look, this was a contract that was given to SpaceX after, and this is what they say in the article. So we're going off of what they said. They're saying that it was a 10-month study. Okay. And they looked at both programs, and then this is how work is usually done. Okay. You go in, you look at, you evaluate what your company can do. They looked at SpaceX, they looked at Blue Origin, and they said SpaceX is the winner. All right. They happened to have they announced it literally, I think it was 2 days after Starship had its first successful landing. If I think I'm correct on this, right?
I don't actually know about that.
I
Yeah,
think it was
but
within the range of 2 days, right? Because it was awarded in April, and I think they might have had their first like semi-successful one. I think where it touched down and then it blew up like a little bit later, but it did land, right? But whatever the case may be, situation is that hey, is this some sort of? I mean, can you even do that? Can you even say I lost the contract and here I'll just slide you 10 billion back across the table that you don't owe me if you just pick me instead? Because to me, that's a little bit of a position where if they did go back and reevaluate this and somehow SpaceX did lose this contract, could they go back in and look at that study and say, look, on paper, if you just went with a cheaper evaluation or excuse me, cheaper valuation on his services because he's giving you 2 billion back, but the study
yeah,
proves that my technology is better, safer, and
yeah, yeah.
we're not going to deliver with cost overruns because we've already successfully done such and such as milestones. Is that even? I mean, can you do that, or is
Yeah,
Blue Origin just throwing their weight around here?
what you just said is exactly my thoughts as well. I mean, it's if NASA selected SpaceX on the fact that they think they can do it on with cost,
Hmm.
and then deliver what they want to deliver, it's a bit it's a bit strange for Jeff to say, look, and I'll just read this other quote because it kind of says it too. It says, quote, "This offer is not a deferral, right? But it is an outright and permanent waiver of those payments. This
Mm.
offer provides time for government apparition costs or actions to catch up." So basically, he's trying to say, I know you may get caught up in some other things, getting the costs moved from wherever to get to NASA and then get to SpaceX or whoever they end up going with. Hey, don't worry about it. I'll eat that, and just let us work on it. And we'll just hit the ground running, right? And we can get up with Project Gateway and Artemis and all that. It'll just be good to go.
It
So,
sounds look, I don't mean to knock a
um,
multi-billion-dollar corporation and the people that work for it because Blue Origin obviously has some successes and it's hard
of
to talk
course,
about these things when you don't know
yep.
people on the inside, right? And you don't want to disparage anyone or make them feel worse than they didn't really do a good enough job because the only thing that came up in this for me is that they just didn't hit the same mark that SpaceX hit, right? And that's
Mm.
okay. It happens, right? It's one of those things that takes place in the universe, okay? But this almost acts and feels like a little bit of desperation on the half of Jeff and company because he said he's walking away from Amazon. He wants to focus more on Blue Origin. He wants to bring more value, and it's like almost a sour grapes move. And I don't even want to label it that way, but if you were better, you would have been chosen, and if you were further ahead in your development, you might have made the mark. And that's just kind of the way I feel. I hope Blue Origin survives. I hope that they can make their footprint. I think what did you say? They had $100 million in space tourism now, and people have invested to go into space, but that doesn't
Yes,
pay the
yep.
bills for what they've already invested in the company. I can almost
Mm,
assure you that doesn't pay enough of the bills.
mm. I will say kind of maybe the last thing about it was it is unfortunate because if you go back and you try to look at it too, it does sound like NASA in terms of the human landing system program. They had said they wanted more suppliers, they wanted competition, and that was actually extremely important to them. That was a quote too
Hmm.
from the director of the Advanced Space Exploration Systems at NASA, and then they said basically that. Limited budgets force them to only select one. So they had intended to pick more than one, and due to cost, they weren't able. That's what they say anyway. So maybe that's possibly where Jeff is trying to come from to say, hey, I know you guys had to pick one because of cost. Hey, here's a check.
Well,
Pick two or
take two and
one. Pick
call
me.
take
You
two and
know,
call me in the morning, right?
pick me. I mean, too, pick us both. So I don't know, but I mean, I can see both sides, right? And as Mike and I have said before, we also like competition in the space
Hmm.
because it helps everybody get the best of all the testing everybody's doing. They're using different ideas, different
Sure.
different systems, and it's good. It's good to see different stuff going on, and it's good for the Space Coast over by NASA. It's good to see that all that activity over there on a regular basis too. So
It
yeah,
is.
we'll have to
It's important.
see. Well, this is from today, is it not? Did I not? I found this today, but was
Let me
it?
see. I'm gonna see where it
Was
actually
it?
came from
Yeah,
because
it's it's from today at 10:15. So we'll
yep,
have to. I'll probably check it tomorrow and see what
see
the
what
what,
happens.
what the latest is.
Right. I mean,
So
here's the other take on and this is the article. So we basically just cut it out for you. It's in the links below, so you guys can go find it and read it yourselves. But the interesting thing there, you were just touching on something there that popped off in my head, and now I can't remember what it was.
yeah, okay.
About the Space Coast and develop. Oh, look, if they do pick another to ride on top of the rocket, it shouldn't be too terribly difficult for them to use the same interface system to ride on top to take the
Mhm.
trip to the moon if they all hit the same constraints, right? I wonder if there's a cost factor in there that if they could have two different types of landers, one could possibly have a mission that
Yeah,
to basically deliver people, and the other one could be basically delivering equipment. Who knows? It's not unheard of that you have multiple contributors on a design that takes something into
of course.
space. So that's how this type of business works. So
Mhm.
if they could work that out for them, I think that'd be great for Blue Origin too. I agree. However, it sounds like to me, and this is just what it sounds like, that might have been something to leave the door open towards a bargaining, right, in price, just like you said. So who knows? Let's see.
Yep.
Let's see what the
Yep.
future holds because because the other part of it is SpaceX could have already started hiring to ramp up their production of whatever they needed in order to get their footprint and timelines down and hit their milestones for the next level of the project. and they could have already invested some of the money that was given to them. So I don't think that you would see a situation where that money would be suddenly retracted, possibly because they could be too far along in development, right? Especially with what's going at stake at going back to the moon. So we'll see.
I forgot to even mention
Uh-oh.
the Europa Clipper mission.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember who you want to just mention that real quick or no?
You know what? I read it and then what is it? Was it SLS got it, right?
Falcon Heavy.
Falcon. Oh, no, we have to save that. That's right.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, Falcon. I forgot because the first thing Yeah, Europa got another mission on the Falcon Heavy, and the first thing I said to Corey was everybody wrote off the Falcon Heavy so quickly because they thought with Starship there'd be no market for it, and look, it snapped like 2 whole new contracts, and the thing is going to do really, really well, and it just goes to prove that they didn't waste their time and energy, but that's for a whole nother episode. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got it.
Cool. Yeah, I'll bookmark it, but that's fine.
Darn it. Now I gotta bring it up here. Hold on a second. You gotta send me the link. Did you put it in there?
No.
Oh, wait. So Falcon.
It's at the top of the document.
Right.
Meow. Right, meow.
Okay, lands.
You got it?
No, let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Was it the one from Reuters or which one?
Well, this is I don't know if this is the one I sent.
Oh, here we go. No, I got it. There we go. All right. So what Corey's basically talking about here is it's another one of those situations where I didn't know if we were really talking about it, but he brought it up, so now we have to. And I'm not mad about that. It's just one of those things that Falcon Heavy did get selected by NASA to launch the Europa Clipper missions, and that was previously tied to the SLS, and that's why I mentioned SLS off the top of my head. And look, it's a big thing for them because already introduced the subject as saying the Falcon Heavy also landed another contract earlier. Which one was the other one that they got? They got the one that the SLS was supposed to have. So
this is one of those for sure.
Right.
I don't remember what the last one was. Yeah. What's that?
Look it up. Now, I mean, because look, this is turning out to be a SpaceX rah party. And basically, they're doing it right. You can't really say too much badly about them. They're just performing well in the marketplace that they're supposed to, which just happens to be space, and they're nailing it. I mean, they're doing really well. So wait, let me see. Falcon Heavy. Let's see, lands contract. See if we got that one. That was 3 days ago. Yeah, it was June 21st. So June 21st was the Falcon Heavy lands the $130 million military launch contract. That was the other one. There's that one, right? So that was, I knew that they landed something else, and the Air Force had picked them to fly a secret military satellite atop their rocket, right? So I knew that they were garnering some sort of, some motion there. But hey, that's a beautiful rocket. To see it launch is fantastic. To see the boosters land back here, if that's where they're both going to land, that's going to be amazing. So I don't know. SpaceX is doing really well. How can you really say that they're not worthy of getting the contracts that they are or going to the moon when they're proving that they've gotten from small scale to large scale to heavy scale, and they've proven success? I mean, it's really tough. It's not cheap for SpaceX to have launched, a Falcon Heavy with no customers on it for the first time and have to successfully do it, and then say what's the payoff in the end, because that's a lot of money.
Launched a car with Starman on board. I mean, the PR was
phenomenal.
Through the roof.
Right. Yes, that is true. So much more to talk about with the space development, though. So
yeah,
threw me off guard there. I had to.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
It just popped in my head, and I was like, oh man, yeah. There's more to that.
But it makes it really, I feel bad for Blue Origin. I really do. I feel like,
I mean, yeah. We got people we used to work with that we know that work at Blue Origin again, and it's And we got people we know at the FAA. Maybe they're tongue in cheek. I'll say they're watching our show and they're changing their
Yeah.
policies for astronaut wings
Yeah, we know
off what we're like. Oh yeah, that's a good
we
idea.
know people at SpaceX, we know people at the FAA, we know people at Blue Origin, so it's really tough. And in this community, it's pretty tight. A lot of people that we used to work with at other places all migrated into those positions. So hey, there's that. All right.
Yep.
Have we covered it all now?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, the long and short, we as we said, we love all the space stuff. We're just trying to call it as we find it. Really,
Mhm.
not even see it. Call it as we find it, and it just is what it is.
And it's such a hot marketplace right now. There really is no end to this competition between Blue Origin and SpaceX. And let me just close out with this. This community here, when this shuttle program shut down, this community here was hit very, very hard. Okay? We didn't launch a single thing into space outside of SpaceX rockets with satellites, and that was like the first rebirth of the Space Coast as we see it now developing to be something better than what it was before. The fact that we finally launched 2 human-manned missions from this location again and not on Soviet equipment and did it with American equipment from here was immense. Okay, you can't say enough for the SpaceX team for what they did, how they accomplished it. It's phenomenal work on their behalf. So that has to be stated that this is just basically the rebirth of the Space Coast community. But now with how much the growth has continued,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
incredible, and you wouldn't want to see it diminish in any way, shape, or form. So that means hurting Blue Origin actually hurts the community. But in essence, what if Blue Origin got bought by SpaceX? That would be another thing that could happen.
That would be that would be crazy.
That would be nuts.
But I mean, just as Mike's saying, I mean, over the Space Coast, we got Falcon Heavies, we got Starships eventually, we've got the SLSs there.
It's
over
there.
there.
It's there now.
We've got it's New Shepard, right?
Right.
Is or New Glenn? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's New Glenn, right? He's calling it New Glenn. Yeah, the New Glenn rocket is big as well. So there's some cool stuff going on.
Did I tell you
and it's all
I
exciting.
didn't mention the other day that I was rolling up, just getting off the exit over there by NASA off of 95, and there was a wide load carrier coming through with a huge, huge track system. And I was like, that is way too big for any known excavator, not anything else that I know of on the planet. And I was like, oh man, it's probably a belt for the rocket movers. So for the launch platforms that actually move the conveyor system that actually, the retracted system, I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, working over there, it's you get stuck in some traffic jams where there's like a motorcade, the police, and it's they're moving like satellites or rocket boosters, and like, I'm not sad I'm in traffic right now.
I know.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
There goes a rocket, like right there. All right.
Yeah. I flew a helicopter right at night when they did they moved the last Orion test capsule. I flew a helicopter right over the Orion test capsule. I was driving down the road in the dark and night. I was like, oh my God, they're moving part of Orion. That's incredible.